The time had finally come. With the dragon defeated and the end farms made, I was off to begin work on my future base. I had pre-scouted a location, not too far from the nether spawn, a quiet, desolate area where I could truly experiment and perhaps figure out why I had come to this new world, and maybe find a way to reunite with my other selves, if that was even possible. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode on the Block Breaking server. I'm very excited about today because I will be showing you all the place where I plan to set up my future base. This has been a long time coming, and I debated doing a starter base then moving on to my bigger base, but I think we've lived in the igloo long enough to call that my starter base. Now, I'm not sure we are actually going to build anything today, as we need to get some infrastructure set up for that. But for now, let's at least show you what I'll be working with. Check this place out. I've got a huge mountain range encircling this large grassy plain. I'm not sure if this is like a caldera from a long extinct volcano, or maybe a meteorite impact site. I honestly don't know much about geological formations. That's not the kind of science I do. Either way though, I am super excited about this location. It has a ton of potential. Let's fly up and I can give you a wider picture of the area. So you can kind of see from up here, the whole thing doesn't even show up right now in my render distance. Some of these waterfalls are a little weird looking, so let's just get rid of this one over here for now. Eventually, I will make my own custom ones. For now, I do want to get onto terraforming of this place. I would like the center to actually be a bit deeper in the long run, and I don't know that I want these specific cave entrances to be here. I definitely don't want the base to be grass, so let's get into a quick time lapse and remove some of that. Well, that's definitely a good amount done. Still have to finish up this back corner behind me. I will probably do that off camera or on a live stream later. Check out all this dirt and grass blocks I got though. I'm gonna need a fair amount to turn into clay and terracotta for mud for my builds, as well as a bit for foundation. I still have too much though. Because of that, we're going to give some of it away. We have a new member on the server today, Spiffy Steffi, and she's working on her starter base. So we're gonna head over there and drop some of this off to help her with her terraforming.
Oh, I see you. Hi.
Oh, you're up there. Hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi. I come bearing gifts for you.
Yes.
And you can keep the shulker boxes as well. I have a ton of these.
Whoa. What the heck? Thank you so much.
Is that a good amount of that'll get you going?
Yeah.
I've been doing some crazy terraforming. So, are you breaking that with a stick?
Listen, this is all I have.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem.
Appreciate it.
And welcome. I think this is our first official meeting on here. So hi.
I think so.
And
My
welcome
house
to the
is
server.
right up just over that hill.
Over this hill? Do you mind if I take a look at it real quick?
That's fine.
Okay.
Don't be surprised when you don't see a roof.
That's okay. I don't even have a house yet. I'm doing all the terraforming before I build anything.
Oh, wow.
I'm living in an igloo currently, so it's okay. It's a house.
It is a house. It's got no roof yet because I hate building roofs. But you know what? We're here and it started, and at least it's somewhere I can store some items.
This is good.
Yeah.
Well, what was... Somebody has...
Hello?
A goat horn somewhere? Hello? Where was that coming from? Oh god.
Oh my god.
I have no idea where that's happening.
Oh, up there in the tree.
Oh, it's...
Oh my god.
I see him. I see him up there. Hello.
That's scary.
So after that little drop off, I decided I should just check out my shop to see how sales were going while I was around spawn. And while I was over there, I noticed this little guy, and it gave me an idea. I want one for myself. I think I might be able to use one in a farm I'm going to be setting up later. So in order to clone this guy up, I'm going to need some materials. First, I can buy amethyst shards, so that's easy enough, and at 4 stacks per diamond, that's super cheap. Next, I needed to craft myself up a jukebox. Also, really not that big a deal. But the one item I was missing was a record. Okay, so it's nighttime. We've got a bunch of creepers and skeletons spawned. So now we just got to get this skeleton to potentially hit the creeper. And yes. Okay, we just got to pick up the music disc. We got it. Oh, No, the zombies picked up the music disc. The zombies picked up the music disc. Okay, we gotta sleep real quick and then we can deal with this situation. Okay, somebody, there it is. Okay, let's just get rid of all of these other zombies and skeletons, and then we can have our music disc. Leave me alone. They keep picking it up. Okay, I've got it now, and now I'm on fire. I gotta get out of here. Okay, music disc acquired. Now we just gotta drop this jukebox right by this guy and give him some music. This is kind of a funky beat. I like this. Now we give him the shard. Come on. Yes. Okay, and we should have, oh, hello. Wait. Where? Oh, this is mine. Grab you by the lead. And, oh, they're dancing. That looks kind of wrong with him holding the sword like that. Oh well, now I have my own Allay and we can take him back to my new area. This might be a little bit of a struggle, but luckily we'll go through the Nether. And up on top of the bedrock. Come on, little guy. Come on. Don't get stuck down there. Don't get stuck in the bedrock. Come on. Up the ladder. Why is he's not moving? Get up here. There we go. Awesome. Now we just got to make the really long trek back to my new base area, and we'll have ourselves this little guy to duplicate more when we need to use him for some farms in the future. Oh, hello, little buddy. You are so cute. I hope you were worth all the trouble getting you over here. So now that we've got this Allay back here, I'm going to finish up removing the rest of this dirt from the basin, and that'll be time to move on to phase 1 of our infrastructure building. And there we go. All of the dirt has been completely cleared out from the basin. The walled border around here is where I might continue cutting deeper into the ground. If not, at the very least, I'll be terraforming up to that area. And I still haven't really decided yet what I'm going to be doing about all these different cave entrances. But the next thing we need to do is build our first farm out in this area. Well, on the nether roof side of things. It's going to be a Piglin Barter Farm because, in my opinion, that's one of the most fun farms to make and is great for how much you get back from it. I'm going to be building it based off of a modified ENX04 design, and right now I have 0 materials to do it. So I'm going to grab what we need and we will be right back. I've got everything we need to make this now, and I've come to this precise spot on the nether roof. What I'm showing here is the biome border between Crimson Forest and Nether Waste, and an intersection point of the spawning sphere. My ultimate goal here is to make this whole thing pretty much automatic, where I have a gold farm on the Nether Waste side and a barter farm on the Crimson Forest side, so the gold farm can kind of directly feed the barter farm. Still need to do some experiments on how I'm going to make that happen. But for now, here's all the items I need to start the barter farm portion of this. I think there's nothing left to do but get this thing built. As mentioned earlier, this farm is based on ENX04's design, but modified for my own purposes. I couldn't use scaffolding to stop entity crimming in this situation, as I want the items the piglins throw out to be picked up by hopper minecarts, so I'm using vines instead right now. The design uses an auto dispenser to put carved pumpkins on the piglins' heads, and the soul torches make them run around until they eventually fall into this hole here. But I ended up noticing a slight problem with my design. So the problem appears to be that the vines have spread over to the hole that these guys fall into. So I'm gonna have to start this process over and switch the vines out for a ladder. I'm sorry guys, but I see no other way around this. How did you get a pumpkin on your head? Oh geez, oh boy, hold on. Also gonna make one slight modification to try and get the hoglins out of here. So after a little bit of time, I've managed to get both chambers filled with 64 pigmen on each side. I did up using scaffolding a little bit to help corral them to the right spot. Now I just have to use this piston here to push them all over so that they are in the one block with the ladder. That didn't quite work as I was expecting it to. Hold on. With a little bit of tinkering, I got it to work. I had to piston over a glass block on the ground to where the scaffolding was to prevent them from, bopping back over. And then piston a glass block into the spot above that, and boom. 2 nice and pretty chambers with a little bit more than 128 pigmen. Now, I do have a problem. I'm out of gold. So I'm going to need to set up a real tiny gold farm on the Nether Waste side of the border here that we can expand in the future. I've already grabbed all the materials I need for it, and oh no! Oh geez. Wow, look at all of the arrows they just shot at me. You know what? This is not safe. This is not safe. We might have to fix this first. So in my experimenting, I found that pigmen can grab gold through trapdoors, but have a harder time throwing back out their items that way. It's not 100% working. I'm still trying to find the perfect solution for it, but for now we can block them off from the trapdoors so that nobody else comes up here and gets accidentally destroyed, and can still use the farm. So just to test this out real quick, we can throw them some gold, then step away and wait a second. Okay, and you can see there they threw out their item, but it did end up falling onto the trapdoor there. I wonder what happens if we can drop the trapdoor that the rails are on and... Oh no! Oh god! They're escaping! Stop! Stop escaping! Oh no! What have I done? I need a minute. So I did end up going back and fixing the Barter Farm setup, but to distract myself from that slight setback, I decided to bang out this quick mini gold farm, which I will expand to something far greater in the future. I started to build a standard item collection system for it below, but got an interesting idea to make it a little bit more unique. We're going to use allays to pick up all the gold nuggets, because I really don't care about the rotten flesh or any of the other stuff. If we have all the allays, bringing this to a specific spot that's higher up, that'll be easier to bring the gold directly to me. That would be amazing. So we're going to build a little contraption that all the allays can swarm to and throw the gold nuggets in. I decided to just build this off camera since we are a little crunched for time in this episode already and still have a bit to do. But as you can see, piglin spawning is working well. They fall to the ground, and down below here we have the allay that's going and picking up all of the gold nuggets that get dropped. And he brings them over to the hopper note block setup that we have over here. And we have a second allay attached to this fence post over here, chilling out in case the first one misses. I did end up redesigning this drop-off station a few times till I got the least amount of loss possible. If anyone's interested in a tutorial for this, let me know down in the comments. But now I think it's time to head up and AFK for a bit so we get a decent amount of gold so I can start testing out and complete phase 1 of the Barter Farm. Let's see what we get in the morning. Well, unfortunately, my AFK session got cut a little bit short, but let's head on down here and see what we've got. I am not expecting much, though. Oh, that's actually not too bad, all things considered. Okay, so this is working. We can take this and actually make some powered rails with what we've got here and have enough left over to do some trading. So first thing I want to set up with this Barter Farm is the item collection system. With 124 of these guys in here, there's going to be a ton of items flying out of this, and I want this to be fully automated. So I'm going to set up a hopper minecart that goes along a rail to pick everything up. The system I'm using here will break the hopper minecart so all the items in it will instantly drop out. Then the hopper minecart will be separated back out and keep going on to try and pick up more items. This is a cool mechanic that hasn't been possible till 1.19 because now when a hopper minecart breaks, it stays together as one item. Okay, let's test this out, and drops down, separates, and not quite enough power to keep going. Oh no, there it goes. Oh, awesome. Okay, so now we just got to build the rest of the rail that goes underneath the piglins. And there we go. I've now got this infinitely looping minecart set up for picking up all the loot. The goal here is to be able to collect what's dropped from about 2 stacks of gold at a time. And I could always increase the output pickup by adding more minecarts. Now, honestly, this was kind of the easy part. The next part I have to do is dropping off the gold to the piglins, and last night I finally had a eureka moment on how I could get it so the piglins would pick the gold up, but not throw out their items to that same spot. And to make it work, I had to get dirty. Real dirty. Mud turned out to be the best solution for this. The hitbox of mud is a little bit lower than a regular block, and you can still place a rail on top of it. And now comes the nerve-wracking part. I need to insert the mud between the piglins, and boom. Okay, that actually was not that bad at all. And now if we jump up here, we'll test by throwing them a gold ingot. Yeah, okay, someone grabbed it. And then the minecart comes over and picks up what they throw out. Let's just check the drop-off system. And perfect, the item's in there. Since all that worked, I went ahead and finished up the entire rail line for dropping off the gold. And now it's stress test time. We are going to throw in 2 full stacks of gold ingots and see how this works. I set up a temporary small collection system down here where all the items will fall into. And now, let the fun begin. 2 stacks of gold ingots in the minecart, heading up the elevator that we made for it. And it should be coming around any second now. Boop. Okay, there's all 2 stacks just dropped and got picked up by the piglins. And any second, oh, yep, they've all just thrown out their items. And now it should start getting picked up by the minecart underneath. The minecart comes over here, all the items get dispensed, dropped into this cobweb. This cobweb is going to be used later to align the items for an actual item filter that we're going to make below. And, oh yeah, there's a bunch more. I think this is getting collected quick enough that nothing will despawn in there. And any second now, all of these items should start to fall down and get picked up into this collection system over here. Yep, there's the first batch. So let's go take a look. Obviously, just this hopper is going to be way too slow to collect all of these items. So I think the next thing we're going to do real quick is make like a double speed, quadruple speed shulker loader. Oh, also one thing I wanted to mention is I went back to vines in the holding cells for the piglins. I found out ladder's hitbox was enough to hold the items that they were throwing out on top of them, and that would have been a big problem. So now let's get into a time lapse of this shulker loader. This quad speed shulker loader uses 4 droppers firing on a 1-tick pulse from an observer clock to shoot a ton of items into the shulker box super fast. On top, there's hopper minecarts quickly distributing items to 4 sets of hoppers that go into the droppers. And just taking a look here, you could see how fast this whole system actually moves because it can load up 4 different types of items at a time. It is super fast, super efficient. But in the end, not the final way we're going to do this. Eventually, my plan is to make a mega item sorter using a combination of double speed filter loaders and allays for the non-stackable items. But I've been actually out here for a while collecting gold and running this system, and I don't think I've yet revealed exactly why we needed to make this. Maybe you can tell from all these resources I've been kind of pulling out between the blackstone and, most importantly, all of the obsidian. So with me finally having moved to the location I plan on starting my base at, I felt it was time I actually built something decent to contribute back at spawn. And it's a nether portal. Now I know we already have one, but I want to make one really cool looking. Something that will entice people to go through and nice to use as people spread out and start making their larger bases. I've been collecting a bunch of other materials besides the stuff from the Barter Farm, specifically a bunch of warped wood, basalt, glass, and concrete. Now let's get on some good music, strap in for a fun time lapse, and we'll get this thing constructed. So it's not 100% done, but I kind of wanted to give you an update on where we're at. I have got basically the outline of the building done. It's just missing some of the finer details. I want to do some stuff to actually break up the portal areas. And you can see the roof is kind of a different design than I've done before, trying to get multiple points coming out of the top like that. I think it came out pretty cool, but it needs some texturing. And down here, you could see the glass fog effect mixed with some end rods. I think this came out really neat, but I'm struggling to 100% get the reflection to work out right, and I'm not sure that I like how the skulk looks at the very bottom. Now, overall, I'm pretty happy with it, but I want to get in and do a little bit more detailing and maybe replace some of this skulk with some more black concrete. We'll see. Let me get into it, and I'll be right back. And it is finally done. I have finished the spawn nether portal. Let's take a quick look around. So the roads here, I decided to add, I have like little gutters on the side using a combination of basalt, smooth basalt, some deep slate stuff. And this one in the front, I have kind of looking like it's a little bit ruined going off in either direction. And we finally got the reflections working. I have the nether portal down there set up. And you can see I added a little touch of details with some of these lanterns using armor stands. I was able to get the reflection from up there working nicely down below. I do have a piglin spawning problem. But if we go through to the nether side, I'll show you real quick what I had to do. So I ended up raising up the portal on the nether side of things. Made like this interesting pyramid structure. I think eventually I'll add some more details to it. I think it works for the time being, and I kept using the black stone so the look was consistent between both sides. Let's throw on some shaders real quick and just kind of take a look and see what this thing looks like that way. Okay, so I don't love the way the Nether Portal itself looks in the shaders, but for the rest of the area, I think that looks really cool. And if we take a look down here, the reflection still works. The end rods are super bright, but it still kind of dissipates into darkness. And you could tell down there I switched out the sculk that was at the bottom for just regular black concrete. I feel like it helps it disappear quicker into the, I don't know, the ether or whatever we would consider being down there. And when the sun hits this thing just right, I think it looks really great. Just looking at a few different angles of the spawn skyline, I'm really happy with what this contributed to the overall look. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this episode on the block breaking server. We got a lot done today. We started moving to our new base location, made a gold farm and a piglin bartering farm, fully automatic, which I'm super happy about. And we have our new spawn nether portal, which took a little bit of time, but very much so worth it. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to drop a like and consider subscribing to get notified about future ones. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.